All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin, here with Aaron, and we did it. 1 million subscribers. This is a celebration today. We will be live for about 35, 45 minutes. This is the hangout, regular news video coming later. But why don't everybody comment down below how long you've been with the channel, where are you tuning in from? I will pull up the chat right now. And this is big, guys. I want to thank everybody here. I remember, man, it has been a journey. I remember we were in crypto before this, but we started the channel in February 2018. Some say the worst time ever to start a cryptocurrency YouTube channel because the bear market had just started. Yep, chat seems to say all good. But we continued. You know, we came at it from the average retail investor's point of view. And I do want to say, Aaron, my brother, started the channel. He pulled me in about a month later, and we slowly started cultivating. And I just remember, and I think some of you were there around 2018, 2019, the depths of the bear market when Bitcoin was just between 6K and 12K. You know, it looked sad. People were leaving the space. And we kept reporting. I think there's value here. I think people are looking for this hedge. There's something different about this. And you saw it, and we saw it. And then Bitcoin dropped to 3K shortly after in 2020. But I guess long story short, point is you stuck with us. And now we've cultivated a community of like-minded individuals that hold Bitcoin, that love cryptocurrency, that are here for this decentralized future. So check in the chat. Shout out to you. I see Ajack says, a milli. Austin, are you at work? I am in my apartment. Got a blue screen. It's like when you get to 1 million subscribers, you can finally afford a blue screen. Hey.
I'm tweeting out the link right now.
Hell yeah. We are twins, suspect. We are twins. Pedro says, congrats. Guys, thank you. Let me know how long you've been with the channel, how long, where you're tuning in from. Suspect, TX, we are twins. We are twins. Hey, thanks, Jared. But anyway, like I said, this is the chill stream, okay? Not our usual produced content. Again, we may have some friends, whoever is available, jump in, maybe in about 10 minutes. But this is just for you and me. Check in the chat.
I'm going to pull up the chat right now. Actually, you pull it up and I'll say what's up to the audience. Hey, what's up, guys? Celebration of 1 million subscribers. Only subscribers, in fact, can chat with us in this live stream right now. So make sure you subscribe and join the team if you want to. We did throw out the invitation to join this stream to basically anybody we've ever interacted with on YouTube or on Twitter, all the friends of Altcoin Daily. We sent them an invitation. It's kind of a last minute thing, so who knows who will be joining, but it's kind of open to everybody. There's anybody can jump onto the stream, and if we know them, we'll chat with them for a little bit. And it's just really a celebration. I just want to say I love cryptocurrency. It's been awesome taking this journey with you. I love seeing comments all the time saying I've been with you since 200K subscribers, 100K subscribers. I see some people say I've been following you guys since 2018 or 2019. That's always cool. My original intention for the channel was to, I always thought, if cryptocurrency is for, the everyman, if it's for everybody, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, surely we could figure it out. And since the mainstream media did not report on this with any accuracy, I always thought we could provide a pretty, decent service for information, opinion, and stuff like that. So it's awesome to be here with you guys today.
And I am just going to take over, do my one screen share. Guys, I want to celebrate you, everybody that was with us below 1 million or into 1 million. Definitely appreciate the super chat. Matt C, congrats on the huge accomplishment. We all love you guys. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate, the like-minded community we've created that loves Bitcoin, that loves crypto. Sharing my screen now. Okay, so this is, if you use our first off, this merch will be forever gone. We will never, ever do this design again. If you see somebody around the world, at your college, at your work, whatever, you know that they got into Altcoin Daily under 1 million subscribers, because in about a week, new design, this is going away, but also only for the people that are on this stream right now. If you want, if you're looking for a Christmas present or whatever, 20% off if you use the code MILLION. 20% off until October. So you have about 7 days. Anyway, not a requirement, but I just wanted to sort of give back to you. There are different colors for all this. So link down below in the video description, or it's right up there. But that's for you guys. I have a shirt. Man, I was going to wear my shirt today. But, you know, yeah. I hope you see me. I hope to see you around.
People have tweeted at us the Altcoin Daily mugs, the t-shirts. Those are two of my favorites, actually. Then we also have the socks. And I think you just added a mask in the store, Austin, right?
Hey, something for everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. A mask.
Well, and let's point this out there. Subverse Nation says, it says 999,000 liars. That's incorrect. We're actually past 1 million. I'm going to share my screen one more time. We do want to keep it on us. Here is the back end of sharing screen right now. Guys, there is 1,247,000 people subscribed to this channel right now. 48. We're watching it go up live. And again, you know, I appreciate you guys that stuck with us.
Yeah, guys, if you're watching right now, everybody smash the like button. Tell me which coin is your favorite this year in the chat. And I just want to say, you know, because we talk about the whole market, we'll talk about everything in cryptocurrency. Of course, you know, we have our biases and we have our favorites. But I'm really happy when somebody says, hey, you never covered this coin, but I'm making huge gains in it, or I love this coin, but we don't talk about it that much. You know, I honestly, people think like I wouldn't, like, you know, I'd be mad at that or something. I just want to say, like, any way you're making money in cryptocurrency, any coin, I think that's awesome. You know, like there's tons of opportunity in this market, and those of us, you know, who've been around for a while have definitely seen that. So I just want to say awesome to you guys.
And to add on to that, you know, think of us as not registered financial advisors, but commentators, like a Skip Bayless, like a Shannon Sharp. Like, I personally would never make a sports bet, you know, watching Skip Bayless talk about sports, but I stay in tune. So I follow so I can get a good sense of where the market is. So that's us. That's Altcoin Daily. And we are almost to 1K likes. There's 1,500 people watching. One of the many things I've learned with YouTube is if we get a blast of likes, then that'll say to YouTube, hey, send this stream out. Let's get more people on this stream. And if you guys are willing, throw a like. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we're getting like tons of comments, which is cool. If you want to talk about something specific, we'll definitely try to get to all the super chats. Just Knows tipped $5. Great content. I've been here for 9 months from Puerto Rico. You know, he must be rich if he lives in Puerto Rico. That's pretty cool. Somebody says the motorcyclist, Altcoin Daily fan, India, great quality content always. All news, congratulations. Let us know where you tune in from in the chat, because it seems to me we have people who watch from all over the world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we do have somebody, I assume one of our crypto friends that just went in the waiting room, but his name is Ronny Raoul. I don't want to even dox him, but I don't know who that is.
I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? We kind of, you know, put the link out to like a big group of us in Telegram who are on YouTube, said, hey, you know, if you know us, come on. Do we know this guy?
I think if he's watching now, just hit us up on Twitter or something. Who the hell are you?
Well, he would only know if we follow him. That's the only way he could like do
or
it.
in Telegram.
I don't know. I mean, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm going to the chat right now. If you guys have any good questions, obviously no guarantees that they'll get to them. Oh, Taylor Cleveland tips $5 and says, been with y'all since 2020. Y'all's video have helped me change my family's life and future. Cheers from Texas. Dude, that's awesome. 2020 in retrospect was like the perfect time to get in. That's cool. Hey, and we're originally from Cleveland area, Ohio.
Did you guys see the news today? Gary Gensler saying stable coins are like a casino. Kind of seemed like stable coins aren't like, or like poker chips, I believe he said. might cover that in the regular video tomorrow. Hey, Austin, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are also content creators in the audience. It's never been more popular to create content. We're celebrating a major milestone. What would you say is the secret to your YouTube success? Everybody wants to gain on YouTube. Like, what advice would you give them?
I mean, number one is do something that you love. Like, luckily, like we got the crypto bug bit us. Like, we started this channel from the average everyday, point of view. We don't have a traditional finance background or a coding background, but we call it the crypto bug. And we're like, if mass adoption is to happen, then surely we can figure it out. So number one, do what you love. Number two, on YouTube or on TikTok or on Twitter or whatever, consistent content. I would say consistent content is even better than, what did it say? Perfect is the enemy of good or something like that. Like, it would be nice to make every video perfect, but YouTube favors same day content. Twitter favors same day content. So the key is consistency. Those are the two.
Yeah, I would say, do something that you like, because obviously we're making content every day before YouTube even let us, we're able to monetize it. So you have to love it. You have to it's like going to the gym, you're not going to see the results you want in the beginning, but if you keep lifting weights every day, you're going to get stronger. Beyond that, the key is, to be able to, it's quality, consistent content. If you're trying to make a piece of art and perfection with your videos, that's cool, but it's better to be able to put stuff out consistently. And other than that, I think tons of people in the space, especially crypto, have their biases. You have to like the coins that I like. If you don't like the coins that I like, you are maybe you failed the intelligence test, or it's just whatever. They're very, they say, oh, you have to like what I like, or else it's not right. I say I want to hear what the people like. I want to hear what coins that people like, and we'll make content around that. And I'd love to check out what people are interested in.
And number one, everybody, the front end of YouTube is just updated. It does say right now 1 million subscribers for Altcoin Daily. Pretty cool. And Aaron, I figured out who our guest is. You put the link out to just the hundreds of crypto content creators in that group. It's a guy named Ronny. I don't know, but
never met this guy. Do you want to let him on for 2 minutes?
Hell yeah, dude. I love to meet crypto people. Ronny? The front end of YouTube is just updated. It does say
turn your YouTube. We can hear us in the background.
Turn your radio down, please.
Congratulations. Congratulations. 1 million subscribers.
And for the folks at home, we just wanted to make this an open forum, invite fellow people in the crypto community, come on for 1 or 2 minutes. So Ronny, I appreciate you leaving the baby alone for a few minutes and jumping on.
Yeah, I'm here in Bogota. I have a Spanish YouTube channel, so I'm focused on the same like you, add value to the people, informing about cryptocurrency, whether or not people like this coin or this coin, exactly the same. So, and I'm really, really happy for you. This is a big goal for me also. I'm almost, I'm going to reach 100,000, I guess, this month. So I'm just kind of starting, but yeah. All the best.
Dude, that's awesome. And 100K, I can only speak for me, I guess, but that was my original goal. If we can just get to 100K, that would be awesome. And we did that. And obviously you keep putting out great content.
I started last year in the 2nd of July. So my channel growth, very, very fast. I'm from Germany actually, but I spread content in Latin America because I saw there's a big, the people need information in Latin America and Spanish language. There was so small amount of quality content in Spanish language. So I decided to do my channel in Spanish, and yeah.
Cool. Hey, we got a couple of super chats. I want to pose these to Austin. First of all, they said, hey, somebody likes Radix, distributed ledger technology. I know you guys did a video on it before. Any updates on that, Austin?
No updates. I haven't really kept in tune, although they are implementing and they do seem to have a solid team. But it's cool. They're focused on composability, which is what they think that Ethereum is missing.
It's a legit project for sure. Somebody else says, I found XCAD because of you guys. Really love the project. Will you guys ever get a fan token, a social token?
Me personally,
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons we supported XCAD was just because Mr. Beast, KSI, they seem to be lining all their ducks in a row, choosing this coin out of the many few other social tokens. Me personally, I'm in no hurry to get my own social token. I'd rather see what other people can do and be a little late to the party than early.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe Ronny, I'd love your take on this. From your point of view, what do you think?
About the social tokens?
I just shared my screen, and Bitcoin.
What are your thoughts on the market? What are your thoughts on Bitcoin and the crypto market?
I think we got our last chance is the 21-week EMA on the weekly. So if we can recover this prices, okay, we can close above the 21-week EMA. So then I guess we can follow up with the bear market. There's so many, with the bull market. There's so many people that say, hey, there is no way to enter into a bear market right now. But I think it's not so unlikely that we could reach it. It's never happened, but at least a small micro bull market for, let's say, 6 months or whatever. But I'm very focused on this, on the 21-week EMA, and on the end of the week we got still 5 days. So if we reach the levels, then I think we can go again rising. But if we don't reach this target, so then we have to face the truth that we might see maybe a smaller bear market.
Damn. And me personally, I mean, that's I'm ready for everything. I'm ready for anything. And I see people in the chat saying, hey, is Bitcoin going higher, Bitcoin going lower? I personally have no clue what the Bitcoin price will do in the short term. I just know the fundamentals are still there. And whether that takes 6 months, 1 month, or a few years, they say hodling isn't easy. And I'd say that's correct.
I'll say it. I'm bullish. I think 100K by end of the year is still possible.
Nice.
Yeah, of course, it's still possible, but the truth is nobody knows if it's go up or go down. That is impossible, So nobody knows. So there are a lot of YouTube channels saying, no, 100%, you can trust me, it will go up. There is no way, that this goes more down, but nobody knows.
I like that. Ronny, I was going to just say, Ronny, appreciate you jumping on, man. Awesome. If you want to just plug your channel one more time, just, awesome that you hit 100K. Appreciate you coming on to say, hey.
Okay. Best of luck and hope to see you soon.
Hey, appreciate you, Ronny.
Bye-bye.
And we have another guest.
Ronny seemed cool.
Yeah, I liked him. Can you guess this guest? He's been
on the channel.
He's been on the channel before.
Hashoshi.
Hashoshi.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Love it. Love the Swan Bitcoin hat. We invited Brecky on to the channel too today, but everybody got the invitation last minute. He's had meetings all day, but dude, great to see you.
Hey, yeah, great. Congratulations, first of all. That's the most important thing. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, man. And for the folks at home, could you introduce yourself and your channel?
Yeah, sure. Hey, folks. My internet name is Hashoshi. I make YouTube content about crypto. More specifically, I make explainer content, helping people understand how everything works and what it does. And I, of course, talk about price when relevant, but really focused on fundamentals. So really thankful for the opportunity to be in the same space as awesome gentlemen like Altcoin Daily.
Appreciate that, guys. Smash the like button if you appreciate us bringing on guests. There's hopefully more guests to come within the next 30 minutes. Hey, we got a couple super chats. Matt C says you guys need to do a live stream once a week. Your input is so valuable. Would be very nice to do more live streams. This is awesome. And then this is maybe a great, Austin, what?
I was just gonna say, every time when I'm back in the live stream mode, I'm like, yeah, we should do this every week. And then when we're just doing the regular content, I'm like, I don't know, maybe not today. But when I'm here, I love it.
Yeah. And then this is a question maybe for Hashoshi, because somebody asked us on a specific project. Bruner says, congrats, thoughts on Jigstack. Hashoshi, ever heard of that?
I'm not familiar with it, but let's look it up.
All right, well, we don't need to look it up. If we, we'll keep it on your radar.
Yeah,
no, I'm gonna look it up and keep it on my list. So thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, we'll keep it on your list. So what are your current what's your current take on the state of Bitcoin, Ethereum, the overall market, Hashoshi?
I mean, of course, yesterday, today, just generally the space we're in right now, not so great. And I think people are really worried about it, which I completely get. I think right now, the wild card is always macroeconomic events and traditional finance. Unfortunately, regardless of what we might think or what you might hear, crypto is tied in some ways to what goes on outside of crypto. That's just the way it goes. And also, there's a lot of regulatory uncertainty in a lot of major Western countries. And to be quite honest with you, there's plenty of areas in Asia where things are questionable as well. So I think that's right now the big thing we're up against that could keep us from, just rolling right into a new, blow off the top bull market fervent cycle. But I still do think that there's some room to run and that we'll end up turning positive before the end of the year, close to the end of the year.
So the extended cycle theory in some words.
I'm starting to subscribe more to that theory. And of course, it's far from guaranteed, right? Because we have no control over all the events that go on. If there's sweeping regulation in major jurisdictions, namely the US, that could cause a much different outcome than we think, right? If all utility tokens of every kind essentially become labeled as securities, there's a whole nother hurdle to go through to figure out who's going to survive and who can't function anymore. So hard to say what's going to happen there.
Here's a really well thought out, well worded question from the chat. I'll pose it to you, Hashoshi. This is from somebody named Kraken with the SpongeBob emoji. He says,
nice.
Why China even exist?
Thoughtful indeed. I think, well, again, another thing we don't really have control over, sovereign nations. But I think the big thing is, how do you insulate your own project? Like if you're creating a crypto project, how do you insulate yourself from the very wildly different regulatory approaches that you see in different countries? Right now, the approach is just, let's put in general language inside any contracts that we make with VCs or, with allocations or just in public launches. If you're in China or the US or X country, don't participate. And if you do, you're on your own and, there'll be legal consequences, right? That's how people are covering themselves. I think what really needs to happen is there just needs to be clarity about what's allowed and what's not. And then we can fight the battles that come afterwards about what's right and what's wrong. So philosophically,
I totally agree. And it's crazy that in that sense, everybody's on the same team. It's like, just tell us, SEC, like, what are your rules? And I bet a lot of us would be willing to play ball in the US and obviously would go elsewhere. Just, we want to know the rules.
Yeah. And with China too, like there's a big difference between the average Chinese business and the Chinese government. It's very different. I think people are like, China in totality is a problem. Like, I don't agree with that. It's just certain approaches from a regulatory perspective, and obviously the way that people approach the political system or whatever, that's totally irrelevant to crypto, and I'm not going to go there. But I think there's a lot of really cool work being done in technology in China, from just Chinese people, that I think it needs to be appreciated as well.
All right, Austin, if you want to plug the special offer for subscribers in 1 second, I do have a question for Hashoshi. Hey, from a fundamental level, price could do anything, but what are your favorite projects in the space right now?
Great question. I think right now of course, I'm always interested in some of the more speculative altcoin plays. I think metaverse projects are, a really long-term play with risk. Network, NetVRK, however you want to pronounce it. It's a really cool project. You looked at games like Star Atlas in the Solana world. Those are the risky plays. But blue chips, of course, Bitcoin and Ether are always going to be a huge cornerstone of any portfolio that I have. Always 50% plus in allocation together. And then, interoperability is my biggest play. I think Cosmos, Polkadot, and projects in there represent what the future of crypto is going to be, multi-chain universe, and that's where I'm placing my emphasis right now.
Dude, I've heard NetVRK from a lot of people in my circle. It's like a hidden gem, and they all say it's the risky, it's the risky play, but it's all on their radar.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm gonna have a Hashoshi HQ area in the metaverse where folks can hang out. I just think it's a cool way to interact. And the cool thing about metaverses is that if they're interoperable with each other, whatever one you choose is open to other people as well. You get to mix.
And speaking of interoperability and speaking of connecting, Hashoshi, you'll like this. We announced this at the beginning of the stream, but just as a very small way to give back, if you use the code MILLION, 20% off any of this merch. Some of them do come in different colors, and this design will never be available again after 7 days. So if you see somebody with any of this design, you'll know, hey, I was with Altcoin Daily under $1 million too. So something pretty cool.
Exclusive.
Again, link down below.
I'm going to be a buyer as soon as they sign off here.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I got to run, but really, again, congratulations and keep making awesome content. Let's do something together soon.
Let's do it.
That. Let's do it.
Appreciate
Everybody
it.
Say goodbye to Hashoshi in the chat. Go check out his channel. We'll have him on for a real interview sometime soon.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Have a great one, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Back to the chat. Let's see.
Somebody was asking, this was a super chat, so I feel compelled to answer. They're like, are my funds safe if I'm keeping them in Celsius? I live in Texas. And I guess, just to say generally, that's not something we can answer. If I knew the future, I'd give you the winning lottery tickets. Now, of course, he's talking about the regulatory pressure that BlockFi and Celsius have come under recently.
And Coinbase lend.
And Coinbase, yeah. I mean, so honestly, the golden rule since the beginning in Bitcoin and crypto is not your keys, not your crypto. You have the power to be your own bank. That's why it is, so cool. That's what makes cryptocurrency so cool. You don't need a third party. That being said, obviously BlockFi is a sponsor for us, and I can say I've looked into them and I like what they're doing.
Yeah, the biggest risk is counterparty risk, and that's all you need to know. So it depends on what risk level you're willing to take. Hey, Rodelio says, congrats from Republic of Panama. Nice, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, Travis Richard just subscribed.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, the only way you can chat with us in the comments is if you are a subscriber. I wanted to, try and make it to just the core audience.
Aaron almost fought me on that, but I said, no, we don't need any randos in the chat. This is just for us, just for the community.
Yeah. You think anybody else is going to join our stream? Like a friend of the channel?
I think we picked a very odd time for a lot of people. So if they don't, I think it's a timing thing, but I'm glad to just keep it to the core community.
Me too. Me too.
2,400 people watching, 2.1 likes. I'd love to get that to 2.3.
So let me ask you, Austin, what are some of your, as far as like open source dApp platforms like Ethereum interoperators and competitors, in the space, there's kind of like a lot of blue chips now. What are some of your favorites? For real, like what are your favorites?
Yeah. Well, first off, the majority of my portfolio is Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is why maybe my strategies may be a little different in terms of taking profits. For example, for me, like I'm personally on those high caps, I'm not taking profits till Bitcoin. When Bitcoin passes 100K, that's when I'll start thinking about it because I'm willing to hold. Now, whether that's this year or in 6 years, I'm personally willing to hold. So those are my top two, I guess. I'm a more conservative investor. And then I don't own Solana. Obviously they've been doing great. I just kind of felt like, getting in now, I would be jumping in because I feel like I missed the boat and I don't want that. They're doing great things. I hold Cardano. I like that. Polkadot, Chainlink's, one of those ones I hold. So it's really those, I really like the smart contract platforms, protocols, like those base layer cryptocurrencies. And of course, cryptocurrencies that are making partnerships like the Chainlinks that are really integrating and hitting on that interoperability. Yo. Is this your first live stream?
Sorry about that. Nice. As far as Ethereum interoperators and competitors, obviously out of just that, Ethereum is my biggest holding. Then the ones I actually own are Polkadot and eGold. And I did buy a little bit of Cardano in 2018, which turned out into be like even more Cardano once the price appreciated. So those are the ones that I own, but it's like Solana, Avalanche, those ones are killing it. Huge announcement.
If you're in the chat right now, We just got a super chat from Elon Musk. Elon Musk just super chatted us $6.99 Canadian dollars. And Elon Musk says, congrats to 1 mil. Start shilling my Doge bags. Talk about Gary and how he is shutting down exchanges. Send me altcoin sweater. Going to be bear market. A lot of thoughts. And appreciate you, man. Yep. Doge is, hey, Elon, if you get back on SNL, I will definitely start shilling Doge again, as we covered in the news. And appreciate you. And Brandon Bourne says, congrats, gentlemen. Have you looked into Ergo? I would appreciate your thoughts on the project. We're not jumping too much into altcoins for this stream, but I will put it back on my radar. Honestly, it used to be, and I'll have to check back in with it.
Appreciate you. Go Flamingo asked us a question. First of all, he says, God bless you, cute kids, and all your sexy content. Appreciate that, man. He says, any thoughts on OHM, which is Olympus? It is a decentralized reserve currency that remains unbound by a peg, currently in its expansion phase. I did look into Olympus early on, and I was going to put it on a top altcoin video, possibly. Never did, but generally I'm kind of like neutral to positive on it. Definitely seemed interesting to me.
Dragonfly D says LOL, I think laughing at the Elon Musk's, account. Andrew says, I really appreciate both of you. Cheers to you, Andrew.
Appreciate that, man. This stream is, I don't know, Austin, you want to talk about the origins one more time for people just tuning in right now? What makes you, why do you want to do this? What makes you get up every day, especially back in the day when, even fewer people were watching? What interests you about making content in crypto?
Great question. And, just to manage expectations, we'll probably be on here for another solid 10 minutes, Altcoin Daily audience. So stick with us 10 more minutes. I hear the best is yet to come towards the end of the video. But honestly, I just love the space. I mean, I heard about Bitcoin for the first time in 2013, didn't do anything. It was kind of like a meme to me back then. I was like, oh, okay, this little meme thing exists. Got back on my radar in the early run-up of 17. And we weren't even content creating at the time. We were just sort of checking it out. Is back on my radar. And I guess what made me fall in love with it is, first and foremost, making money. It's like, that's what I personally want to do, make money in cryptocurrency. I'm a more conservative investor because I do mainly hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and those high caps, but that's my ultimate goal. And then two, I just fell in love with the space. Like, this is early days of internet. This is, we see the use case or the value prop when the Fed prints, 20% of the money that was ever created ever in the last 12 months in 2020, whatever that was. The use case is clear. The decentralized future, the want for that is clear. And the big question is, if mass adoption is for everybody, surely I can figure it out. Surely we can talk about what coins have value, what don't, just what's exciting out there. So that's why I fell in love.
I like that. For me, it was around, I first heard about Bitcoin like 2014, 2013, maybe. It was the Bitcoin pizza story on Reddit. And at the time I was like, oh, whatever, I just forgot about it. Didn't really understand it, And then started just peripherally, barely. I didn't follow it every day, but I was getting into it in late 2016, early 2017. Started to have friends talking to me about it. Originally, I thought, oh, maybe I'll trade for fun. I wanted a hobby I could monetize. Maybe I'll trade for fun. And then I just started exploring cryptocurrency in general. Had a friend tell me about the gains he was making. Had a Lyft driver on my way to the Improv in Los Angeles tell me about this was later in 2017. Tell me about Firecoin or something, about how he was tripled his money or something. And I was like, all right, man, you know how the Uber drivers and Lyft drivers just all right, gotcha, man. But it was really, it's in the beginning of 2018 is when I decided to go fully into it. And at the same time, I was like, I might as well, make content on it every day. And I truly think, that's, I learned so much just from paying attention to this every day. And, there's so much stuff to learn. I love to dive into, Bitcoin only podcasts, Ethereum only podcasts. I love to see all these different interviews. I'm trying to get information from everywhere. Because the thing is, it's such a nascent space. There's barely any experts in the space because it's so young. and literally anything could happen. So, I mean, we're on the forefront, just like, 1995 of the internet, 1996, I think.
In these final 5, 6, 7 minutes, this is the opportunity. If you have any personal questions for us, we're definitely here just to talk about big picture or big picture cryptocurrency type questions. But checking the chat, Corey tips $5 and says, Altcoin Daily live streaming, love it. Please tell me you guys are extra bullish on VET.
Extra bullish? It really depends.
All right, enough, dude, enough.
It really depends on what Bitcoin and Ethereum do. But just like we had on Bitboy did a great VET interview, everybody should check that out. I like what Bitboy said. There are certain things that are like the best in their niche. Chainlink best in its niche. Ethereum best in its niche as far as market share and partnerships and everything. VeChain is the best in its niche for supply chain management. They are heavily connected to China, so it also depends on that. But there are a lot of, they've been in the space for over a cycle. Definitely one to keep track of.
In my opinion, I'm a simple man. We'll go on the yes, no scale. Yes, is it interesting? Is it good? Or no, is that not really interesting? Not really into it. To me, VET's a yes. They are constantly implementing. And we have a special guest jumping in.
All right.
Definitely friend of the channel. California local, just like us.
Elliot or Wendy? Or Brian? Elliot.
What's going on, guys? Congratulations. Round of applause. You guys did it. You did it. How do you feel?
I feel like I can finally be happy. I finally have permission. No, I love it. It's so cool. I mean, the original goal when we kind of first started was 100,000. And then obviously we were looking at that million, and it's so cool to have cultivated a community of Bitcoiners and crypto people.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Shout out to Altcoin Daily Army out there. You guys have such a positive community. I think you guys do such a good job of like presenting information, but also encouraging people to think for themselves. And I think, your guys' tone, I mean, from the minute you flip on an Altcoin Daily video, you have that hook. That dramatic tone, and it just makes you watch the whole thing. So I've always loved your guys' content, and I feel like we've been friends for a very long time. So I'm very proud of you guys, and happy you've hit this milestone.
Appreciate that, man. It is like, yeah, we have been friends for a while. The real gains are the friends you make along the way. And
that's true. That's true.
First time we met Elliot was back in like 2019, probably, when Justin Sun's Tron invited a bunch of influencers, flew them out to San Francisco. We're in California, so we're like, yeah, we'll go. And to the Warren Buffett Justin Sun lunch, which didn't end up happening. So it turned into like an influencer weekend. It was kind of weird, but we got to eat, Warren Buffett's duck. And it was just like, it was cool because we got to meet so many people like you, Wendy, Ivan on Tech. It was like the who's who of crypto people that time. I was like, wow, we're all here. Yeah, BitBoy, it's like, we're all here and there's really nothing for us to see anymore because Warren Buffett's not here, and we just all kind of hung out.
Yeah, I look back. That was honestly one of my favorite weekends. Like I look back on that, and then my life, especially as we've gone deeper into the pandemic, is so digital and it's so crypto. And I have so much more in common with people like you than people that maybe I grew up with or stuff like that. And so, in a way, I felt like I was meeting some of my close friends that I just didn't know. And we joke. I know you said it kind of sarcastically, the real gains of the friends, but there's a lot of times that I look back at the last few years and I just feel so blessed to be connected with these people who are such brilliant minds, such interesting thinkers, content creators, and just comrades on the journey here as we do really, really, really weird and interesting stuff here. As we see now, since sort of, I just filmed an episode, which I'll put out later today, which is like talking about like how things have feel like they've really changed since September 7th, when El Salvador launched their Bitcoin experiment. And at first I was kind of meaning it too. Like I was like, kind of like it's El Salvador, like what kind of impact is this really going to make? But last night I was really thinking like, it's really, really significant if these people end up winning and building wealth out of this experiment, a nation without much wealth. And then what message does that send to the world that these people could win just by adopting Bitcoin, and then how many more countries would follow, and what kind of a domino it would be. And I realized there's probably a reason why we've seen such an escalated sort of tone against crypto since September 7th, and why the charts are being so crazy. And yeah, it really feels like we're in a new stage of this, and it's quite interesting. And I feel like we're all kind of in this together, you know, like I feel very connected to people like you in the audience. And I feel like we're all kind of writing history right now. And it is quite profound. And so, you know, you guys really deserve your chair, and you guys constantly bring really important news out there. So I just wanted to pop by and say, I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate that, man.
That is, well, one of the big reasons I subscribe to EllioTrades, your channel, is just because I love the big picture, thought-provoking, just big picture questions. And also, obviously, I think you're like probably the top crypto content creator for NFTs. Like, you were early in the space talking about it. But we have a super chat that I'd love to get your take on. I
just want to say real quick, appreciate everybody super chatting us, buying us beers. Truly appreciate it. You know, love to, you know, this is awesome.
We need beer
or coffee.
Enough said.
we need beer to do the job. So thank you guys.
But Elliot, in under 60 seconds, bear market or super cycle or other, like where are we right now in your opinion?
Yeah. So going with the kind of the intro I just laid out, which is that essentially things have shifted dramatically since September 7th. And I genuinely believe that there is a bigger pushback from whoever you call them, the people who are sort of holding the reins right now, realizing that if there's not a pushback now, if they don't sort of nip this in the bud right now, then probably it's going to start getting to the too big to fail category. And so in my opinion, it's super bullish. Obviously, it's going to be super rocky and volatile. But I couldn't imagine that there is all this activity happening if there wasn't a real belief genuinely within the halls of power that this stuff is the future. And so I think that if you are taking a very long-term approach to this, you see this all as noise. And quite frankly, I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that price action and the charts are actually the biggest distraction, because those are easily manipulated. And that's part of the growth of this ecosystem. But the charts are not telling the story, just like the head and shoulders that was supposed to ruin us in May was not really accurate, right? And we're seeing constantly the charts get painted. Oh, just below the support level, that means it's over, it's over. We hit that and then we bounce back. And so it just feels like the game right now is escalated to a much higher level. They know that people are looking at the charts and reading the TA from a professional level. They know that professional TA would look at this and go, ooh, this is bad. Meanwhile, you see the biggest, most powerful wallets soaking up coins. Meanwhile, you see a different story on chain. Meanwhile, you see the brain drain from Web 2 to Web 3, and you see this incredible revolutionary tech movement. And the charts are just lying, right? The charts are just very, very distracting. And I feel like that's the big distraction right now is everyone's going to look at the charts and go, oh, I'm stressed, right? This feels like 2018. This feels like insert the blank moment. And while we could experience short-term bears, it's so improbable to me that this is the prelude to some kind of frozen crypto ecosystem. It feels as though the price is the thing to ignore right now, most of all, and that what you need to focus on are fundamentals, as always, which your channel preaches more than anyone. So bear market, I just can't get there. I see so much bullishness. I see so much progress, and I see so much growth. And the fact that the price has been what's obviously manipulated on the heels of the El Salvadorian experiment, on the heels of incredible growth and revolution in NFT, in DeFi, it really, you're looking at the targeting of projects like Terra and Anchor Protocol, which are targeting sort of like a fixed, stable 20% APY. And I said it when that came out, that's going to rip apart the fabric of traditional finance if people can get 20% by closing their eyes. I know my family had been in commercial real estate for years, and a glorious cash on cash return is 10%. And that's by having a team, a huge corporation that's buying and renovating properties and managing them. And you have a global operation to make 10% cash on cash, right? And so the idea that you make 20% by closing your eyes and doing nothing and having a cocktail on the beach would be fundamentally shifting the entire financial world. And so the fact that we're seeing some pushback here is to be expected, but in the end, the progress will speak. And I think it's super bullish to see this level of sort of pushback, all scary as it might be.
Damn, dude, I love that. I think, I mean, it is crazy to think like, oh, we're seeing so much adoption. I like what you're saying. Price is a distraction.
For everybody asking in the chat, this is EllioTrades. We've interviewed him on the channel. He's a YouTuber and a builder in the space. We've interviewed him just recently, actually, on NFTs, so you can check out that interview.
And Elliot, if you got to, yeah, we'll let you go.
I'm going to hop. It was so good to pop by. Thank you guys so much for having me, Altcoin Daily Army, and congratulations on 1 million.
Thanks, man.
10 million. I'll see you soon. Later, guys.
See you, Elliot. The man, the legend. Friend of the channel.
What is up? What is up? Did I get it on? I was listening to Elio in one ear and then listening to you. All right, guys, Bitcoiners are the news. We are the news. You guys are the news. 1 million subscribers, 1 million subscribers. So thankful to be here. So thankful for you guys. It's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. And please introduce yourself. You've been on the channel before, but reintroduce yourself and your content for our audience.
Yeah, so Brian Harrington, Brain Harrington. I help out with the meetups here in Orange County and Los Angeles. Go to Bitcoin meetups. My day job is I do product marketing at Choice App. Fastest, simplest way to get Bitcoin inside an IRA, inside tax efficient accounts. And that's what I do. And then in my spare time, I watch YouTube and I'm a thumbs upper.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah, Brian runs the OC Bitcoin Network here in Southern California. Awesome Bitcoin meetup, Bitcoin-centric meetup. Everybody who loves Bitcoin should go to that. And then he also works for Choice, which is a great company to put Bitcoin in your retirement account. Yeah, dude, so glad you came on, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate it. When 2 million? Are we hitting the, how fast does it keep going? How many,
We're on
how
a
many
run
people are
rate.
Watching Bitcoin stuff on YouTube?
Oh, it's crazy. We're at a run rate right now of around between 40 and 60,000 new subscribers per month. So
it goes in ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows for sure, but
we were reaching 100 a couple months ago, but ebbs and flows. Here's the thing, once you get 100,000, once you get 10,000, once you get 1,000 subscribers, it's so much easier, in my opinion, to get the next 1,000. Once you get 10,000 subscribers, it's so much easier to get the next 10,000, 1 million, so much easier to get the next million.
Right.
That's why you see like Mr. Beast and PewDiePie getting millions of subscribers every month, because YouTube just likes those channels even better. So it's one big snowball effect.
What about the plaque? That's what I should have asked then. What about the plaque? Is it in the mail yet?
I just checked and I tried to apply for it and they said, oh, you'll receive an email within 7 days with a code. And then you got to go to the site and put in the code, then they'll send it.
Got it.
YouTube, we're waiting.
Yeah, it took us like 3-4 months to get the 100K one.
Yeah. Maybe then you can send a picture of it to the Twitter verification bot and just
yeah, totally. So what are your thoughts on the current state of the market, Brian? What are you thinking with Bitcoin or crypto? What are your thoughts?
I don't know why Bitcoin went down yesterday. Well, I do know why. Okay, Bitcoin went down yesterday because there were more sellers than buyers. That's my analysis on why it went down. And I don't really have anything past that. I don't know. It's just people. We got to keep stacking. Keep stacking.
Let me do the open-ended question for you. Maybe people are newer in the audience and don't really understand. On a price, who cares about price? On a fundamental level, why are you bullish on Bitcoin?
Yeah, on a fundamental level, I'm bullish on Bitcoin because fiat money doesn't work. It's just like any technology. We're upgrading our money stack. The fiat USD, the APIs are too slow. ACH transfers take too long. The trusted third parties don't work. The banks lose our information, just all yada, yada, yada. On top of the worst part of it is inflation. They just print too many of them, which makes our savings go down. That's why I like Bitcoin. That's why me and my family, we use Bitcoin as our base currency.
Yeah, Bitcoin, greatest store of value of all time over long periods of time. And, it's volatile, yes, but, early. So, that's a lot of opportunity there as well.
And it is programmable. I always enjoy reminding people there's 3 side chains in development on Bitcoin. There's Lightning, Liquid, and RSK. And so Bitcoin does have the ability to do the smart contract stuff and do the token issuance stuff. And so that's why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, is because it covers the whole thing. It covers everything from a monetary perspective and it covers everything from a technology perspective.
Mm-hmm. And Bitcoin has an upgrade coming up, Taproot, which will make it just a little bit more private, just a little bit easier to program in that regard, while keeping the decentralization on the base layer and permissionlessness.
Totally.
I am checking the chat right now. I just always want to bring it back to that chat. Suspect says twins rule. I'm a twin. Very cool. JP Lane says, did you go to high school in Ohio? We did go to high school in Ohio. Did we know you? Because I'm glad you're on stream. And Ajax says Cleveland here. So we got some Ohio people in the audience. Pretty cool.
Dude, I had a high school friend, like a high school acquaintance, like reach out with their Anon account, like over Twitter, and being like, dude, love everything you're doing. And I was like, that's so wild. Like the world is so small. And like, so just encourage people, like you have Bitcoiners like in your town. You have people in your town, people that are pushing you. Yeah, that's funny. That's just what that comment made me think of.
And I just saw, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Brian, like at these meetups that you do every month, like what's one of the biggest questions you're getting from people coming to these meetups about crypto?
Yeah, probably like what the end game is. Like I think people they just, they're trading and investing in cryptocurrency, and they see it as just a way to kind of make more dollars. Most of the time is how they like come like very first time walking up. And so that's a lot of the first conversation we have, is just kind of explaining that a lot of us are more from the perspective of like, we're moving past fiat money and we're going to use cryptocurrency instead of, fiat dollars. And so that's initially where it starts. And then sometimes we get the like, well, then how can we buy stuff with it, or where can we buy stuff with it? And then that's what's so cool about like watching BTC Pay Server get in more restaurants and talking about what's happening in El Salvador and things like that. So yeah, that's the initial stuff we tackle.
2 questions. Number 1, just asking, Aaron, did you invite George of Cryptos R Us? Yeah,
I sent him the thing on Twitter.
Okay, just checking. I feel like he's always doing his own thing. So I just wanted to make sure everybody got the thing. But also number 2, PK tips $20. This is a question for all of us. He says, congrats, fellas. Keep up the good work. Listening to the live stream at work. Favorite comedy movies? Brian, I'll let you go first.
Favorite comedy movie? Okay, I have Superbad. Superbad's my favorite comedy movie because at the time that it came out, I believe Superbad is the most realistic representation of what high school actually feels like. They do understating on the right parts, and they do the partying scenes on the right parts, because I think for a while Hollywood was making like high school party movies just like too over the top. And I'm like, guys, I've never like been in a backyard where this like stuff is happening before. Like I can't relate with this movie. So like Superbad, it just, I like their friendship in the movie because it felt real to me.
I love Superbad. I mean, there's so many. Literally, I'm a huge, movie guy. I could like Groundhog's Day. I could like, an irreverent slapstick. I guess just to throw out another one, I love, and I liked what Brian said about Superbad, 100%, dude. I'll say Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers, I think, it's kind of like lightning in a bottle, like so many movies for different reasons. Like you said, like Ghostbusters, the originals, lightning in a bottle. But I think Wedding Crashers is just lightning in a bottle. That director's really never done anything just as big as, again, Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn together. They've done really good stuff like Starsky and Hutch. But after that movie, they tried to do the Google movie, never done anything just as good as Wedding Crashers. Again, from a comedy level and just a tight movie. Wedding Crashers is one of my favorites. Such great scenes.
And I'd say Hangover. I think it was like, there's obviously many movies. I think in a lot of ways, an unheard of cast of the time. We had not heard of Zach Galifianakis, Todd Phillips directing. He went more serious with that movie. He grounded it. I do a Hangover movie night anytime.
I saw that 3 times in theaters back in the day, Hangover. Wow. And Todd Phillips has said since, he's like, yeah, probably not going to do movies like that again anytime soon, since the culture has shifted so much. And that's why he's gone more serious. And those movies are really good.
Guys, final 5 minutes. Should we, we've been out here at this for 55 minutes. I think final questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all looking at the chat.
Punch another person in too if you've got your next person.
We don't. Yeah.
This was kind of like a last minute thing. We just invited people within like hours or like 24 hours at the most, a couple hours at the least. And anybody who could join us today, it's really awesome, But I'm not surprised that like half the people aren't here.
It's crazy. We have 2,500 people watching and 3,300 likes. That's pretty cool. Nice. People doing some like and runs.
You guys got to do the tone based thing where you just throw all 20 people on the screen at one time, and then
that's awesome.
and then we just hang out for 7 hours.
Goals. That is goals. And
Right.
We thought about that before we did this. We're like, hey, if that happens, we're willing to. And Tone Base set the standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Corey commenting on my Ashland Eagles pennant in the background. Ashland Eagles undergrad in Ohio, great school. People commenting their favorite coins in the chat below. I think we got a couple more minutes. I guess let's go final thoughts, Austin.
Well, Matt C says, when's the next LA meetup? I guess we're definitely going.
Oh, for you guys?
Yeah. Oh, and I'm saying, go Brian. Go Brian.
Well, Brian does one every month.
Well, if you're in LA, if you're in LA, search. Yeah, if you're in LA, search Crypto Mondays LA. That's crypto, and it's on the west side in Santa Monica. Also search, you can search LA Bitcoin only. And I believe that meets on either Sunday nights or Tuesday nights, also in Santa Monica. And then if you're willing to drive down to Orange County, it's Anaheim every Thursday. So that's the lay of the land. If you're out in the Inland Empire, search Inland Empire Bitcoiners. San Diego, search San Diego Bitcoiners.
They just put California as #1 in the country for people ready for Bitcoin and crypto in their state. And two of the biggest things that they looked at were Google searches and Bitcoin ATMs. And I guess, we beat Texas, we beat New York, we beat Florida, which is big. I think maybe the reason people are searching Bitcoin so much in our state is because of the great meetups that Brian does every week. The LA, as far as the Bitcoin meetup that we've gone to the most is Brian's. It is OC Bitcoin Network in Southern California, Bitcoin centric meetup. You gotta like Bitcoin. It's awesome. But there's tons of other meetups I could just name that go on all the time. And that's, pretty cool. California was, that state. As far as when we're going to do it, they is just, they judged a bunch of different metrics, like people searching on Google per state, number of ATMs in the state. Those are two of the biggest, but California got #1. As far as when we're going to do the next meetup, we never really spearheaded that ourselves. Usually we joined Wendy or something, but the next meetup we go to, we'll definitely plug it on the channel for sure.
I would love to know if the powerful Benjamin Cowen has ever been to a crypto meetup in his area.
I've never been to a crypto meetup. No, I've never been to one.
You're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I just moved here a few weeks ago.
And would you, for our audience, you've been on the channel. Thanks, Brian.
Right. Yeah, later, Brian. Awesome having you on.
I think our audience has seen you on our channel, but what's your background? What's your content?
Yeah, my background is mathematics and engineering, and then I just mainly do quantitative analysis of the market. It's a lot of dubious speculation, as you guys know. But yeah, that's mainly what I do. And my channel is very boring sometimes because it's mostly quantitative. But yeah, I think I came on your channel, a few months ago. We spoke about Cardano and Chainlink, I believe, right? That's what it was.
Right before the major dip, I believe. There's a sense of euphoria in the market at that time.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of people on at that time to do interviews because we were going to a wedding. And in retrospect, cryptocurrency was a buzz at this wedding we went to, having nothing to do with us. And we should have realized, it's getting kind of toppy at the time.
Yeah, you guys are twins, right?
Correct.
Yes.
We used
I have a twin brother. I need to get him to do content with me. It's a good idea.
Is he does he invest in Bitcoin or crypto?
He does not, actually.
Not even Bitcoin?
No, he actually, the only crypto that he has is crypto that I gave him. And he's also he's actually getting his PhD in mathematics. So you would think, but no, he's not that interested in crypto for some reason.
And Benjamin, give us your current outlook on the state of Bitcoin and the market. Obviously, you're a big proponent on your channel. This is Benjamin Cowen, everybody. You're a big proponent of the lengthening cycles.
Yeah.
It's either going into a bear market or going into a lengthening cycle. That seems to be playing out. What's your current thoughts on the state of the market?
It's interesting. I thought that I would spend all of 2021 arguing or debating with people whether it was going to be a 4-year cycle or a lengthening cycle, but it's almost turned into, is it a cycle over or is it a lengthening cycle? My thinking is that we have good times ahead, but I don't want to limit that to 2021. We could still be at these levels 3 months from now, for all we know. I think 2022 is probably going to be a relatively good year. if you think about it year to date, if you think about like 2021 compared to 2017, year to date, Bitcoin's only up 50%, right? It's not really that much of a crazy, insane move like you would have maybe expected at this point. At 2017, by September, even with the September dip, we were already at like 350% or something, right? Back in 2017. Right now, we're only at 50%. So yeah, I think that we are, my thinking is that we are very similar to the 2013 cycle, but we're stretched out a lot, right? Like that's the idea. Like it's a stretched out version of 2013. So like I think we're going to trend higher, but I don't know. I mean, right now we have I don't know if you guys follow the 20-week SMA, the 21-week EMA, that stuff, but that's where we are right now, and we got to see if we hold that. If we don't hold that,
we're above it.
Yeah, we are above it, right? Well, I guess it depends on what minute you ask me. Right now, we are in fact above it, and hopefully we hold it, right? If we hold it, then I think we have clear skies ahead, and maybe we'll get the second leg for maybe the next 6 months if we hold it. If we don't hold it, then yeah, we could have a nasty shakeout again. But I would say this, like I would say whether we hold it or not, I don't think we're heading into like a 3-year phase of new all-time high, like of no new all-time highs. Like I think we will have all-time highs in either by the end of this year or sometime in the first half of 2022, whether we hold it or not. That's my thinking.
Well, I liked what you said in terms of we're only up 50% from where we were 4 years ago. And knowing that like the supply halvings, the supply faucet shock, that usually triggers the next bull run. I guess just adding on to that, if you don't pay attention to the price, give me a reason to be bearish. It's like every other thing is bullish in terms of the acceptance and the, getting the word out there and people, publicly traded companies, NFTs, all that stuff, bullish. So I see no reason to be bearish unless you're looking at price, which obviously took a big dip.
Right. Well, institutions as well, right? I mean, I had Michael Saylor on the channel, and I was like, well, if you're an institution, how do you buy Bitcoin, right? Like, what's the timeline for it? Do you just say, hey, like, spin up a Coinbase account, right, and go buy Bitcoin or something? No, he said it can take 3 to 6 months, right? Like 3 to 6 months for institutions to go from wanting to, from talking about it to actually buying it. So I think things from a fundamental perspective are really bullish. I mean, on-chain analytics look good, but then again, a lot of times on-chain analytics look good, right? The NFT space is continuing to be explored. I think the main thing, as you said, is price. Like, what's the price going to do? Are we going to hold these levels and then trend higher or not? I do think, from a fundamental perspective, lengthening cycles also is a like, it makes sense, right? Because every cycle, there's more to speculate on, right? Like there's more to speculate on this cycle, like DeFi, and it's not even pure speculation. Like you're actually earning, you're actually, you're getting interest, or you're getting rewards, you're getting rewards on your crypto. I think the main fundamental thing that is making some people bearish are just regulation, like regulation fear. But even then, you could also spin that into a positive too, assuming the regulations are decent and say that, well, institutions would actually prefer to have some type of regulation so they know what they're buying, and maybe we can get like an ETF and all this other stuff. So I think we have some good years ahead for sure.
I'm surprised how many mutual fans we have in the chat. We got a couple of super chats. Bid Moon says, "Oh my God, Ben is here! Cheers, cheers, cheers!" Got Chris bought us a beer. He says, #chair gang, love Ben. You know anything about that?
Yeah, so I have these 2 chairs in the background that I don't even know why I put them there, but I put them there one day, and everyone now talks about the shares. So,
you must be expecting company.
Yeah, I mean, the only one to use these chairs is my dog.
Hey, Ben. Not talking about price, just as on a fundamental level, what are your favorite coins in this space?
Oh, sure, yeah. Bitcoin. Bitcoin should be number 1, I think. After that, Ethereum. Right? I mean, it's just Bitcoin and Ethereum. You got to get your blue chips, right? Those are your blue chip cryptos. Out of anything, we know those should head up with time, right? Like they'll trend up with time. Don't be deterministic about any altcoin, but with Bitcoin, it just generally goes up. It generally goes up. So Bitcoin and Ethereum for sure. After that, I would say, I went really big on Cardano back in 2019 and 2020 as a hedge against Ethereum. That one's worked out really well. So Cardano is my number 3. Number 4, Polkadot. I think Polkadot is a good project. Chainlink, Chainlink hasn't really gotten a lot of love recently, but I think it's because there's been a lot of layer 1 hype around layer 1 solutions besides Ethereum, because the gas fees and whatnot on Ethereum. So layer 1s are hot right now. And then Avalanche, I think Avalanche is a good project. In terms of decentralization, I think Ethereum is about as in terms of after Bitcoin, of course, right? Like not including Bitcoin. Ethereum, Cardano is fairly decentralized. Avalanche is fairly decentralized.
You would say Avalanche is decentralized? I was thinking it's like a Solana, kind of like less decentralized.
It's not as bad as Solana. I don't think it's not as bad as Solana.
Hey, you know what?
With Solana, I don't think people realize. Like I was looking because I run validators on some of these platforms. With Solana, it takes it's not cheap to be a validator at all. Like I mean, if you actually want to go out and run the hardware, I think it's like you close to 6 figures per year to be a validator. So it's not cheap, and that makes it more centralized. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I've said that a lot to people. I'm like, look, decentralization is what a lot of people find value in, but there are people that also find value in having things be a little bit more centralized and having them be really, really quick. So I would say Solana is a good project, and I don't own any, but it's one of those ones that I wish I had picked up some maybe 6 months ago or something. But I think it'll probably over the next 18 months. I think Solana will still do relatively well, even though it is more centralized.
Being decentralized, obviously hugely important. What is the innovation if it's not decentralized and permissionless? That's a question. But in the context of this one cycle, not going beyond that, decentralization was never a big part of the coins that I was bullish on in the context of this Bitcoin bull cycle. In the future, hopefully, we want our projects to decentralize and be permissionless as much as possible. What happened? We just had a guest. Where'd he go?
I think he's just hiding his video. Do you know Benjamin? Do you know Will?
I don't think I've ever spoken to Will before now.
Will, come on in.
And
I'm trying to fix my background because it's got like the Blockware. I don't know how to change it, to be honest, but just wanted to hop on and say congratulations to you guys.
Dude, well, it's okay. Share your video. What's your background?
Thanks, man. And wait, and Benjamin, can you plug your channel one last time, and then feel free to stick with us or whatever?
Yeah, go check out my. I'll go ahead and leave and give William the floor so he can hop in here. But yeah, go check out my channel if you guys want quantitative analysis and stuff on crypto. I put out a tweet. Hopefully my followers will come and follow you guys. These guys put out a lot of great, interesting videos on basically every day, right? You guys are publishing videos every day on what's going on in crypto. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. Congratulations, by the way, on hitting 1 million.
Appreciate that, man.
It's a huge milestone. So congratulations, and I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, man. Into the Cryptoverse on YouTube.
Well, it's Benjamin Cowen now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but if you YouTube either, you'll find it either way, because I just keywords and whatnot.
I like that. I think it's better with your name. That's clearer.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Later, man. Will, what up, man?
Hey, guys. I was going through my DMs, and then I saw your message from earlier. I was like, yeah, I'll hop in. I'm not doing anything. So.
Nice.
How does it feel?
It feels like I can finally stop posting. I'm done.
Yeah, this was the end. No, just kidding, man. It feels great. This is just the beginning. It speaks to the fact that, cryptocurrency is blowing up. Last cycle in 2017, the top cryptocurrency channels were getting maybe 100,000 views per video at the very most, at the very top. And, they did not, the subscribership was much less all around. So it feels like we're at a different level in crypto in general. And obviously we make content, we want people to watch. So it's just awesome to have such a strong community. For those who don't know who Will Clemente is, very big on Twitter. He does stuff on video as well, but very big on Twitter. One of the top on-chain analysts in the space. It's basically like him and Willy Woo are the name brands, and he works with Pomp a lot. But Will, please introduce yourself for the audience.
Hey guys, I'm really just a guy who likes charts. I'm the lead insights analyst at Blockware Solutions. I do a lot of content stuff there too as well. We just launched a little podcast. But yeah, overall, I just like to follow the Bitcoin market, especially from an on-chain perspective, just because I think it's unique to Bitcoin. But yeah, So I want to ask you guys, like aside from me, like how long have you had your channel, and like what do you think have been the main drivers as to how you guys have gotten to 1 million? Do you think it's just the convenience that you guys provide in terms of like giving people like condensed information? Is it something in terms of the way you promote your content, or like what would you say to people that are listening, or to me as well, who just launched my own channel, right? As far as like the YouTube game, because I'm pretty familiar with how to operate on Twitter, but not so much with YouTube. So just curious, some little gems that maybe you guys have.
Yeah, and you're killing it on Twitter, man. So I think your YouTube's going to kill it eventually too. But it's like first of all, it's like going to the gym. It's easy to get discouraged in the beginning because you're going to think you deserve results that you're not getting. But it's like if you just do it on a regular basis, consistent content, it's like lifting a weight on a regular basis. You're going to get stronger. It's inevitable. As far as like, first of all, we started the channel in February 2nd, 2018. Some say probably maybe the worst time ever to start a cryptocurrency YouTube channel because the bear market was in full effect and only getting worse. People were just, as people were getting disinterested, we were trying to cultivate an audience. But it was cool. The people that subscribed at that time I feel like they're, long-term subscribers. They're here for the long run. Honestly, I could write a book on, practical tips and tricks to do with YouTube. First of all, obviously, titles and thumbnails, one of the most important things. Literally the only thing stopping a potential new viewer from clicking on your channel. Second of all, first of all, if you make great content in general, that's the best thing you can do, obviously. Besides that, set yourself up to be able to like post consistently. If you're trying to make a piece of art, if you're trying to go for perfection with your videos, that's cool. It's probably not going to help you, grow quickly. Beyond that, and particularly in crypto, I feel like there's tons of people in crypto that say, this is the type of content I'm making. And if you don't want to listen to that content, you're the idiot. You're foolish. This is the best thing in cryptocurrency. That's not how I feel about it. I think the audience is king. I'm down to I consider myself a cryptocurrency commentator. I'm down to talk about whatever people want to talk about. And really, besides that, I'm not here to waste anybody's time. I know, people enjoy the fact that our videos are concise, a lot of them, but obviously quality, consistent content, I think is king. Austin, what would you say?
I would the two things I'd add are, yes, consistent content, meaning that like we choose to do it every day. Like we set ourselves to that standard, but whether you're promising your audience every Monday or maybe twice a week or whatever you're promising, like make sure you deliver. And that can always change if you find out you don't like it, you want more, you want less over time. But whatever you're promising your audience, they come to expect a video every Monday or whatever you say you're going to do. And you can always do extra. And then two, I would say, we started our channel because we saw a need in the market, in our opinion, because all the content creators back then in 2018, they did hour-long live streams. They never really get to the point. There's a lot of people.
And I just want to say real quick, that's great for podcasts. I enjoy that on podcasts, but like for YouTube, it's just a little bit different.
Yeah. So we were like, what's content I would want to watch? And so we did that. And we just started like every single day doing it. And then also we sort of kept our eye on people we respected in YouTube and Twitter and said, okay, well, that title or that topic really worked. They're getting a lot of views in that video. Let me do my coverage on that topic and do my own spin because I see how that's working. And then you just slowly cultivate the audience.
Yeah, you got, just like if you're starting a band, you can't start a band, you can't start a YouTube channel without having influences. In a band, you say, I like Queen, I like, Fall Out Boy, whatever you like. And I like the way they do the guitar. I like the way they do their sound. I want to take what I like and don't do the things I don't like. It's the same for YouTube. You got to see what people are clicking on YouTube to know it's relevant, and you got to be able to have those influences so you can stay in tune with all that stuff. For you, Will, I definitely say, now that you got a job, congratulations, by the way, definitely invest in a quality microphone. But, for those who don't know, Will is a young man, 19 years old. I know last time you were on the channel, you're like, oh, I'm considering all these different jobs. What made you choose, we'll reintroduce the job you took and what made you choose that one?
Sure. So I'm working in Blockware solutions. So, one of the main things that brought me there was just I think the mining space is going to explode over the next, call it 10, 15 years. Also, I just really love the team. Like their CEO, really high energy, really enthusiastic guy, loves Bitcoin, loves Bitcoin mining. He's like an encyclopedia, honestly. Also, like, some of the other guys I work with, David Hose, and he's worked at several different companies and startups. Some of these guys, they just, they have so much experience in the game. So for me, that was a big reason why I kind of gravitated towards them. But yeah, like, I'm basically now doing everything I was doing pretty much just under the company name. And then also we've launched this whole Blockware intelligence thing, which is, YouTube, newsletters, and then also we just created a podcast on Spotify today. It should be on Apple Music. I mean, on the Apple Podcast soon. But I'm surprised that you guys haven't started a podcast yet, because you get a little double dipping in there where you can take the YouTube video and then you just pull the audio out of it and plop it into Spotify. Like, I think people would love that if you just did. I do it once a week, but you guys are doing it like every day, right? So you just did like, okay, here's your daily drive to work, throw it on your car, boom, listen on the way to work. Like, I would listen to that. Because I find with some of the content, you can get some triple dipping going, where like I have the newsletter, I put the newsletter out, and then I do a video version of the newsletter where I'm basically just reading it, right? But I'm just going through the charts, screen recording, and then I take the audio from that and put it on podcast. So.
Yeah, that actually would be really smart. I guess like I was thinking like maybe we've only recently started doing like interviews like more often in this past year. I was thinking like maybe like more like we'll put the interviews on a stream would be a good idea. As far as like the regular videos, it would be a good idea to do it rather than not do it. But our videos are so highly visual. Yeah. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's true.
I would love to do the interviews. I do think that's a great idea, and I have been thinking about it. But I guess. Yeah.
Will is an on-chain analyst, one of the best in the space. Will, give us your thoughts on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency going forward. You study the data every day. You have some insight.
Sure. So I think like this stuff is best used in kind of a mid to long-term time frame. So when I speak here about being bullish, I'm talking about more so towards the end of the year. I think a lot of these supply dynamics, when you look at 93% of Bitcoin hasn't moved in at least a month. All-time highs of supply held by long-term holders. You're seeing a lot of coins moving to entities with very, very low spending history. A lot of these things are kind of resembling, like if you go back in Bitcoin's history, moving out of the end of the bear market into a bull market. I think like it on the short-term time frames, you need to follow stuff like just raw price structure and also derivatives data. But the way I position myself, I mean, I keep up with it and I pay attention, but it's not changing like what my portfolio positioning is. I positioned myself in the early mid of last year. I didn't admittedly sell the top. Partially, this is me coping a bit, but partially because I didn't have some of the metrics I do now. But I called the bottom right around 35K. And, as we move forward, I'll be looking to call what I think will be the top of this next, like, second leg of the bull run. But yeah, like, I don't pay crazy, like, attention or get too caught up in, like, the intra-weekly price movements where, you have, like, a liquidation cascade, or this week we have, traditional markets drag Bitcoin down. But I try to focus on, what's the broader picture in terms of the next couple of months, and, like, what's the behavior of all these different entities on chain. So when you look at that, I think we're still setting up for a strong late Q4 into Q1 next year.
So you're saying, aside a black swan event, in your opinion, 95% chance or more that Bitcoin will not go into a bear market. There's a higher high to come. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that would be the way I would say, like 90% chance in my mind that we'll see new all-time highs in the next 6 months, or 80 to 90%, just to not sound like a blue boy completely. But I think like when you look at some of these data points and like you could look at them. Anybody listening, like who has a Glassnode subscription, look at HODL waves, look at illiquid supply, look at long-term holder supply. You can see all these things that I'm talking about, and kind of the behavior of the market in reaction to those things over, the months preceding that historically. So yeah, I'm pretty high conviction on that. Short term, I don't think I have much edge there. I don't think I have much more insight than the average guy, especially any of these derivatives people on Twitter. So I try to just stick to what I feel like I have the most edge in, I guess, which is kind of those mid to long term time frames.
Will, I know, at least I thought I knew, you own a mic. Like, is it like you're getting ragged up in the comment section a little bit for
about my mic? Yeah, hold on, let me grab it.
All right. Well, we're probably gonna end this stream in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, don't worry about it. I got it here though.
Okay, cool. But that's awesome. I love that perspective, and I think it's important for the audience at home to realize that, hey, nobody knows what's going to happen to Bitcoin's price in the short term. Literally anything could happen. What the fundamentals are still pointing towards is strong accumulation, more acceptance, more awareness in the long term, which is bullish.
And my question for Will is, because I saw, obviously you're a huge Bitcoin believer. I saw Willy Woo recently. I don't think he's ever I don't think he promotes Ethereum. I don't think he likes it that much, but he said, hey, it's plenty liquid and it's easy to trade. You ever think you might put out on-chain things for Ethereum or just any other liquid things in crypto?
I've thought about it.
Because here's the thing, dude, you're a young guy. I mean, young people can take a lot more risk. I feel like obviously people who are young like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I feel like it'd be like a no-brainer.
Yeah, so I would say I don't own Ethereum, so I don't know if I really, just to be honest, have the incentive to want to do it. But also I think a lot of my my following that I built up are more, to be quite honest, just more like Bitcoin maxi. So I think for both of those reasons, I really don't have the incentive to do it, but someone could definitely do it and apply some of these things that I'm talking about with Ethereum. In some ways, they're the way the chain's set up, you can't do some of these heuristics that you can with Bitcoin. But overall, when I'm talking about the very basic kind of supply stuff, you can apply a lot of these things to Ethereum as well. I think, if you're a trader, which, I tend to look at, if I'm going to go into a coma, what do I want to own in the next 5 or 10 years? And I think it's tough to make the argument of Ethereum versus all the other layer ones. If you're gonna own Ethereum, I think you would need to own a basket of all the layer ones, because it's not, definitive that over the next 5-10 years that Ethereum's the dominant 800-pound gorilla in the room. Even though obviously it's way ahead of the other competitors now, but I think in terms of the actual store value, I don't think anything is really gonna catch Bitcoin. So just kind of the risk averse person in me kind of wants to stay with just Bitcoin. But anyway, I know I'm dancing around the question. You can definitely do it with Ethereum and some of the other protocols as well.
Well, let me just say that, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. Plenty of people in our audience only own Bitcoin because the value proposition is so different. I'd agree with that. It's most decentralized, most permissionless. If you're going to hold something for 10 years, I think, Bitcoin has the best chance, because even if you're, I'm bullish on Ethereum, but Ethereum is going through a major protocol change. So there's just so many unknowns. I would say I understand, you have your brand. I think for people like Pomp, who are he doesn't do trading. He's more big picture, educating the masses. I think I can understand the strategy, and I think that's smart. He's not talking about things on a cycle basis or even a week or month basis. But for a trader, I think your audience is full of traders too. I would think you could maybe get away with it just as a simple trade. But that's got your
We're just
brand.
trying to get you to 1 million subscribers as fast as we can, Will.
And you're killing it by being, Bitcoin only or Bitcoin mostly, or actually having a very thoughtful, neutral point of view on the rest of the market. So I'm not here to mess up the brand, but I think you could get away with it.
I'll keep that in mind for sure. Yeah. I think you saw my tweet the other day. You guys know I'm not one of those crazy hardcore going to curse you out for owning altcoin kind of Bitcoin maxis. I think it's hypocritical to say value is subjective, right? That's the big thing. Bitcoiners will say, oh, well, Warren Buffett said Bitcoin doesn't have intrinsic value. That doesn't matter because value is subjective. And then they'll turn around and say, well, this altcoin is a scam. And it's well, maybe it doesn't have value to you, but there's a big difference between saying something is a scam and saying something, doesn't have value. Like those are just two completely different, accusations. And so to me, like, I don't know. I just find that very hypocritical, even from someone who like does only own Bitcoin. Like, if you're so confident in Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin and just be quiet. Like, I mean, there's some people that just like to stand up for Bitcoin's ideology, but like, you don't need to attack people who decide to do other things, because if they really are worthless, then over time the market will go to zero and they'll lose the value that they put into that investment. And I guess like some of the Bitcoin maxis like to say that they're protecting the new people coming in, but maybe this is just like a little selfish of me, but I just quite frankly like don't care what anybody else is doing. Like I own this, and like if you want to own like this and come rocket and whatever else like you want, I'm like, go for it, dude. Like I'm not here to tell you if that's the right or wrong decision. I just worry about my portfolio, and I think like that's how most people should look at it. Like, what does it matter? Like, it just gets under my skin when people, are screwing around with like NFTs on Twitter. And it's like obvious. Like, I was listening to the debate with Dennis and Udi, and like I like Dennis. Like I've talked to Dennis several times. I think he's a good guy, and he's coming from a good place. But like his first arguments were, oh well, Ethereum isn't decentralized, and when you own NFTs, like you don't own the actual property rights to it legally. And Udi's like, he completely just turned the whole argument around on him, and he just said, yeah, I agree with all of that. Like no one cares, you know what I mean? Like that just completely took away all of his arguments. And I think it's just kind of a flawed thing that some of the maxis, some of their approach is just that you have to think outside of like what you think about how something is. It's also about what other people, how other people view it, because the market isn't about you, it's about the other people in the market, and you're trying to guess the decision. So from a trading perspective, like I to just say that you should only focus on Bitcoin from a pure trading perspective, that doesn't make sense. But then to call this stuff a scam is just a complete next step for me, even though I don't own any NFTs. Because I think part of it is my bad. I'll let you talk, because I know I've been rambling.
No, dude, I really appreciate that. And like, I was listening to that Udi versus Dennis thing too. I think more conversations like that need to happen. I think like Bitcoin maximalists do a disservice to themselves and the whole conversation in general when they just write stuff off as a shitcoin scam, because then people don't think there's any difference between Ethereum and Cumrocket or SafeMoon and, Ethereum. And it really like, there's just like more education that needs to be had, because first of all, whether you don't like it or not, PayPal's listing them. I mean, cryptocurrency has gained in orders of magnitude in the past 4 years. It's all like just the acceptance and awareness. So most likely people are going to be investing and saving in Bitcoin, and then probably speculating or investing in, different other cryptocurrencies. So if you're saying this is a scam, you shitcoiner, I just think that's going to turn people off to like learning more from you about Bitcoin. And it's just like, there's more to the conversation, in my opinion, than just saying like it's a scam. The stuff is here for this cycle, probably next cycle. So we might as well learn about it. And that's just this is just my opinion. Like, let's just recognize the fact that Bitcoin is a whole lot bigger, a lot more decentralized, global, open monetary network. And then we'll say like a lot of these altcoins are companies, not that decentralized, and we'll go from there. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess like just the maxi thing to throw back at you would just be like, are you denominating these things in Bitcoin or fiat terms, right? It's like if Bitcoin is, let's say like in crypto, Bitcoin is essentially like your risk-free rate. And so, it makes no sense to go out on the risk spectrum and own, these very high beta things to Bitcoin, which essentially like altcoins, just from like a market standpoint, in a lot of ways, they're kind of just an extension or a derivative of Bitcoin. And a lot of people denominate in Bitcoin, right? Like you're trading altcoins to get more Bitcoin, like a lot of these big crypto funds. So I think like as long as Bitcoin is doing like 200% CAGR, it really doesn't in my opinion, makes sense to take on that risk. But if you wanna think with a small portion of your portfolio, like that makes sense. You know, I guess I'm just more of a risk averse person, but I think like if you're measuring this stuff in Bitcoin terms, like it has to vastly outperform Bitcoin for it to be worth it. And like some of the stuff is, and like if you're just, you know,
well, in the long term, it is like hard to do that, as you said, but in context of cycles, you know, it's kind of easy to do that in a bull market if you're in a bull market, as long as you know have realized profits or proper money management. But I mean, personally, that's something anybody who's been through more than a cycle, I feel like most people denominate their gains in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Certainly I do it. And I've mentioned it to the audience many times. I would suspect a lot of our audience does that as well.
Yeah, I know like a couple big guys, like, I don't know if you know Pintoshi.
Yeah, I love, dude. I see you interact with him all the time, and there's no problem with him giving his thoughts on altcoin or whatever, because it's just a trade.
Yeah, exactly. And like he trades, he uses Bitcoin denomination. He's probably one of the best like price structured traders that I know. And you know, he looks at like Bitcoin dominance, and he basically uses it to get more Bitcoin, right? Like there's these natural cycles where, you know, if you can time it right, and like the average retail investor probably should do it, but if you can time it right, you can capture that rotation where, you know, Bitcoin moves up, takes a pause, and then while it's kind of sideways bullish consolidating, you have liquidity flow into these other coins that you can use to get more Bitcoin. But yeah, like I don't know, I think at the end of the day, everybody should just worry about their own portfolio. And like I get that people are trying to protect others, but like the you know, the cursing people out and all that, that's just not very.
If anything, like I agree with you. And for like just a selfish reason, if I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, I want people to learn about Bitcoin. It's saying like, oh, I don't need to be nice. Like, you know, the scammer shitcoiners, I don't need to be nice. You know, I can be rude. I mean, that's not, it's just like you're doing yourself a disservice, because like people could come to you for Bitcoin education. But if you do that, it's just like, some people don't seem to care, but it just seems like they're doing their own cause a disservice. Anyway, dude, enough about Bitcoin maximalism. 99% of Bitcoiners are great people. And we're close to ending the stream probably, Austin. What do you think?
I think we've been going 90 minutes. Let's like final thoughts from Will, and then you and me wrap it up for the final minute.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'll hop off, guys. I just wanted to really just come on and just say congratulations, because you guys had me on before, and you guys are good dudes. So congratulations, guys, and hopefully on to the next million pretty soon.
Appreciate
we get another
it,
bull run. You know, you get all the new people coming in the market, and then you guys will get up there next couple months. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Really appreciate the perspective you share coming on the channel. We're always trying to find, you know, unique thoughts or people that have, you know, valuable content to share. So I appreciate you sharing with our audience.
Thank you. You guys take it easy.
Later. Everybody can follow him on Twitter, Will Clemente. He's a Bitcoin on-chain analyst. And I guess seriously, last 3 minutes. Austin, what do you think?
I think that's perfect. Somebody said Austin looks like he's getting antsy. It's just like my water is like right over there, but I'll wait to get it to laughter. Downskated tips $2. He says, congrats on 1 million. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Chris Hall tips $20 and he says, hey, how are you named Altcoin Daily, yet you don't talk about Hex, the #1 altcoin to flip ETH? Where is your info coming from? There's a million coins. I'm glad our audience is making different decisions than us. Obviously, we just talk about the projects that are on our radar, but obviously there's so many coins out there.
Yeah, if you're making money, it doesn't matter which coin. Good for you, broski. But yeah, it's like, honestly, we get that all the time. Why aren't you talking about this project? If, you know, I've never seen like Hex like written up in like Decrypt or Cointelegraph. If they covered stories, they would be more on my radar, but yeah.
All right, Aaron, final message to the Altcoin Daily audience.
Really appreciate everybody. This was kind of a chill stream celebration of 1 million subscribers. So appreciate everybody who joined us. Really happy to have cultivated this audience of people who are interested in cryptocurrency, just like us. You know, so in the bull markets, it's a little bit easier, but especially just generally speaking, it's so hard to find people to talk about crypto with. Even today, man, it's like, bull markets are a little bit different, but I still get people. I'm always watching. I don't want people to tune out when they're like, oh, you're into Bitcoin or you're into Ethereum or you're into Cardano. And then I have to, you know, assess right away how into it are they, because I'm used to the eyes glazing over. So it's always cool to, you know, do stuff like this on this channel and be able to talk Bitcoin and cryptocurrency with you. I do want to do more live streams in the future, more chill live streams like this. But I guess just my final thoughts are, thanks everybody for being here. Hopefully this is just the beginning, right?
Chuck Strickland, Ajax, all the regulars, Tosh, great to see you guys in the chat. I mean, we want to do this just as much as a thank you to you, for joining us on this journey. So I think we'll leave it there. Cool. Aaron, log off, right?
Yeah.
How do we end?